If you're in debt, there's an easier way to get out of debt, and it's going to be a lot faster than the traditional ways of getting out of debt. Now, most of us, we might have, a couple of credit cards and we're paying those off using minimum payments. Well, the reality is that when you do that, it's going to take longer to pay off your debt, and more importantly, you're paying a lot more interest than what you have to. But rather, if you were to consolidate your debt, not through a third party or, a banking institution, some kind of intermediary that sends you something in the mail and says, hey, you have this much in debt, but we can refinance your car, or we can consolidate your current credit cards into one payment, and now you pay less interest. We're not talking about that kind of debt reconsolidation. We're talking about getting the debt from public to private. All of the debt offerings that you're currently receiving are all public debt. So even when you roll that debt over and you consolidate it with a different company, it's still going to show up on your credit score. If we can bring that debt private by using our whole life insurance policy, pulling the cash value from our policy to pay our debts, we've just made our debt private. We've reconsolidated that debt back to ourselves, and more importantly, we can recapture our wealth. See, after we pay the debt off using our whole life policy, we can pay those dollars back into cash value where they're going to stay with us. Any other time we were to pay that debt, if you pay off a car note or if you were to go buy a house, all the dollars that you spend stay with the person that you bought the car or the house from. But if you were to use your policy, being that I make a deposit into my policy, it buys me a death benefit, I borrow against that death benefit in the form of cash value, I buy a car, and then over 5 years, just like I would if I were to have a car note, I pay myself just like I would pay a bank. I'm going to respect my dollars all the same way. My own banking system, I'm going to pay myself back. And at the end of those 5 years, not only will I still have a car inside of my driveway, I will have all of the dollars spent on that car inside of my whole life policy that can be reused at any point in time to make another purchase. And all the interest that I spent on that car is going to be inside of my policy as well, which means that I actually became wealthier from making that purchase, and I didn't lose any of the dollars inside of that transaction, which means I can make even bigger transactions into the future, and I can even go buy another car if that's something that I was interested in doing. So it's important to understand the difference between public and private debt and what's truly hurting your credit score. What means more to me is building wealth rather than building credit. Your credit score can always change. It can fluctuate up and down, much like a market with volatility. But if we bring our debt private and we reconsolidate our debt back to ourselves, not only do we have a chance to recapture our wealth and stop losing so many dollars over the course of our life, but also, too, we're going to pay less in interest. We're going to get wealthier from the transactions that we make, and we're going to help our credit score simultaneously because there's less debt as far as our debt to income ratio that shows up on our credit score. So if you're checking Credit Karma and you're looking at your credit score go up and down, it's probably because you either have on-time payments, late payments, or a mixture of the two with some inquiries and a bunch of other things. All of those things I mentioned come with public debt. It's time for you to get your debt back private. It's time for you to get more control over your dollars. And more importantly, it's time for you to become your own bank. So click the link inside the description. I look forward to seeing you on a call and speaking with you so we can create your plan and get you started with becoming your own banker and recapturing your wealth using your own whole life insurance policy designed as a banking system. Thanks so much for watching the video, and make sure you check out other videos. If you have any questions, like I said, I look forward to speaking with you on a call.
Gave a lot of game, we never got a lot of things. Bow your head and say the prayer, we taught you how to be the bank.